friends, and welcome to another tutorial from the desk of Affinity on iPad with Emmy. There is one big truth that I want to share with you before we go into the business of the day, my friends, and that is whatever I can do as a graphic designer or a photo editor or as an artist, you can do better. What you need are two basic things. Number one is to believe in yourself, and number two is to practice. Listen to this. All things are possible to those who believe in themselves. You may not be experienced or gifted in art and design or in photography, but if you can believe in your God-given potentials and ability to do difficult things, you will not only do this, but you will do it like a pro. Now, get your devices and let's dive into it. So what we are doing today is converting this JPEG image to vector image. But I'd like to let you know that JPEG images are pixel based, and the problem with that is whenever you want to resize, you get to some point and you begin to lose clarity of the image. And this is unlike the vector image that can be enlarged at any time to any point without losing quality. In other words, vector images are superior for providing sharp and clear images with the advantage of you resizing and rescaling the artwork as you desire. Another thing about vector is that you can change the color easily with just one click. Also, vector images are created from the scratch, just as we are about to do. So let's pick our pen. But before that, we need to duplicate this image. So let's duplicate the image. We are going to use one for our tracing, and we're going to use the other to pick our colors. So pick the pen tool, that is what we are using, and we have the default setting as pen. So make sure you set the width to 2 points, and the color is black. Also go here and make sure these two are selected. They are for snapping control, and you never can know when you will need it along the line. Make sure the two are selected. So let's start to do our tracing. Sometimes using the pen tool can be intimidating, but you don't have to be scared. All you need is simple practice, and as long as you can practice, in a matter of a short time, you are going to become like a master, a pro. The next thing now is to snap the node horizontally. And after that, do the necessary adjustment until you are going to go with the curve. Fine-tune every line. Make sure they are very much on the side of the image. Use the handles to control the curve and move the node where necessary. I think this is good. So you take your time to work on it. It's not something to do in a hurry. Take your time and work on it. So this is good. I think now we should do the upper part, and that is a red part of the body. So we can hasten that up, we can speed it up to save time, because it's the same process as we have just done with the main body. Now let's zoom in to the mouse handle and start to trace that area with the same pen tool and with the same setting. Let's start to trace. Like I said before, you should not be intimidated with the pen tool. Whatever it gives you, you can always adjust later. So after your drawing, just do necessary adjustment and make sure that everything is in line, in position where it should be. Do necessary adjustment. Now we zoom it back out and apply gradient tool. Apply the gradient. Pick the color. Let's pick the color from the body and apply it to the gradient. After that, we shall copy it and flip for use at the other side. So let's flip it. Horizontally flip it. And let's make necessary adjustment to align it with the body of the mouse. And I think the next thing to do now is the scroll wheel. So pick the rectangular tool and draw, and with the center, with the corner tool, highlight the edges and bring it in to the shape of the scroll wheel. To draw the lines on the scroll, let's pick the rectangle tool again and draw a rectangle. Let's fill it with gray and apply outer shadow. So let's go to the Effects Studio and apply outer shadow. Yes, let's zoom it in so that we can see exactly what we are doing. The shadow should not be sharp, so let's bring it down. About 3, 4 should be okay. That's all right. So let's duplicate this and move it in position. Okay, that is good. Then let's duplicate for the rest. And if you look at it very well, the shape of the scroll wheel is not at the center. So let's move it to the center. That is good. And let's apply gradient. Let's select all and apply gradient. We select all, the lines and the scroll shape itself. Then we apply gradient. So let's apply the colors that we have selected before from the image. And I think this is good. Now let's do the whole of the scroll. So pick the rectangle tool again and use a corner tool to round the edges and position it at the center. That is good. Now we pick the rectangle tool again and draw the long hole that comes from the top down to some part of the body. So let's draw that, and we are done with the scroll wheel and the surrounding. The next thing now surrounding is to apply colors to the drawing, but before that, let's work on the highlight. So pick the pen tool again and draw a line. Let's adjust the line and make sure it's in position. The line is along the left button. And now let's pick the pencil tool and draw a shape along the edge of the left button. And after that, we join the two ends. The same thing we do for the right button. We draw it with pencil and join the two ends. Then let's apply the colors. So pick the eyedropper tool and pick the color from the duplicate of the image. So let's pick one by one, about 4 different shades. We are picking from the red area. So we add points. To add another shade of red, you add points till you get to the end. So now that we have done that, let's straighten and make sure the gradient is smooth. So let's smoothen it out. Then let's go to the highlight. So increase the width of the line. Apply Gaussian blur, make it white. And bring down the pressure on the left. Bring it down so that the tip of the line can be slim. Then let's work on the bigger area of the highlight. Apply the same Gaussian blur and bring it to about 38 should be good. So let's do the same to the one on the right. Let's apply Gaussian blur. About the same, 38 should be good. If you look at it, it's looking too strong, so let's reduce the opacity. And still, if you look at the duplicate, there's a little yellow in the highlight. We are coming back to that. I think this is good. This is good. So now let's work on the handle, the mouse handle. Because if you look at it very well, you can see some shadow, you can see some highlights. So let's work on that. Let's duplicate. Remove the outline, duplicate, and add Gaussian blur to feather the edges. So we can have a good image. Now duplicate the shadow and make that gray, lighter gray, to create some shadow as you can see in the original image. You make that bigger, just as it is in the original image. So the same thing, just as we have done to that on the left, the same we do to that on the right. Duplicate, make the duplicate, the lower one, the shadow, then we duplicate that again to create some highlights again around it. So let's do the same thing. Let's add Gaussian blur. You can see the top looks too sharp, the edges look too sharp, so that is why I applied the Gaussian blur. About 2, 3 should be okay, or 1, 2 should be okay. You can see the way we are doing it systematically, working on the top areas before the lower part of the drawing. Because once you apply color to the lower part, you might not be able to see and work on the top layers. So now let's apply our gradient to the main body, the black and gray area. Pick the colors. We need to remove the outline from the red area, the top area, and the bottom, the black and gray area. Let's remove outline. In fact, outline from everything. We don't need the outline. It's just to guide us in the drawing. We don't need it when applying the colors. Now pick the pencil tool. We are drawing the shadow under the red area, the top of the mouse, the very top of the mouse. We are drawing the shadow. We are drawing with pencil the shadow. So join the two ends, and let's apply black. Send it to the back of the red. And let's apply Gaussian blur. You can straighten it. Let's straighten it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just work around it because there's Gaussian blur. Gaussian blur is coming on it, and that will bury all the irregularities. This is looking nice. Looking nice. But looks like we need to expand the shadow area. So let's move the node outside. Let's move it out. You may need to delete and move it out. It doesn't have to be perfect. Move it out until you see or you think that it's okay for you. I think it's okay for me. It doesn't have to be perfect, like I said. Increase the radius, but not too much. As you can see, there's overflow of the gradient outside the image. We'll get to that and correct that later. So there is a structure around this area. So let's draw a line to bring about that structure. to work on the line like a slim S. Yes. And use the pressure control for the two ends. Apply Gaussian blur. Readjust it in position. I think this should be good. Should be good, but let's add more pressure to the top end. And because the bottom part of the line is conspicuous, so let's apply transparency to it to blend it into the background. And that is good. So let's copy it to the other side. That's also good. That's good. Let's work on this. It looks like the distance between the handle and the shadow and the highlight is too much. Let's reduce it. So pick each one and start to move them around. Reduce the space in between the handle and the shadow and the highlight of that. That's okay. It's good as well. Now let's group all and name them for easy identification. So group the left handle together, the three layers, and call it left handle. Do the same with the right and name it right handle. Group the scroll together and name it scroll wheel. Name it scroll wheel. Group the highlights together and name it left highlight and right highlight. Group the scroll hole 2 together and name it scroll hole. This will make it easier for you when you want to work further on the drawing. So move the left highlight, right highlight, move them into the red shape. For those belong together. and then move. You move the handles, the left and right handle, and that structure, that the line structure that we drew, move everything and clip them into the bottom body of the mouse. And that will correct the excesses that you see around the image. That will correct it when everything is clipped inside the body. So you name the black, the bottom area, lower body, and the red area you name as the upper body. Is good. Just as I said earlier, there is a tint of yellow in the original image in the highlight area. So let's add that tint, a tint of yellow, to the highlight. But the line around the left button area, I think, should remain white. And then we should reduce the thickness to make it look like the original. Now, when you look at the shade, you can see how sharp the edges are. So we need to apply gushing blur. About 1 or 2 points should be okay for that. And look at the scroll wheel, the hole, the scroll wheel, the hole, and the long bar. All are too sharp. So we need to apply some gushing blur, because what we are doing is realistic drawing. So it should be as real as possible. It's a vector image with a realistic approach, realistic view. I think that is good. That is good. There is no other sharp areas again. Just like the original, and everything is blended very, very well. So that, simply and in short, is the end of the tutorial. Thank you for being part of the tutorial. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Thank you.